Hello everyone, let's start with the first section, that is introduction. So what is agriculture? Agriculture is a biological process that derived from Latin word agere, which means soil, and cultura, which means to cultivate. What is conventional agriculture? There are basically three types of agriculture. One is conventional agriculture, one is sustainable agriculture, another is alternate agriculture. Another is conservation agriculture. Conventional agriculture, sustainable agriculture, and conservation agriculture. So what is conventional agriculture? That is the agriculture practice we generally adopt with, that is capital intensive and generally agrochemical dependent. What is sustainable agriculture? Which safeguard our present demand and which also conserve resources for future generation. What is conservation agriculture? That the residue things comes into existence, where we are just keeping 30% of the land covered with residue, to sustain the productivity for long term and to conserve the soil fertility. What is alternate agriculture? That is on-farm innovations are done in alternative agriculture. Then what is agronomy? Agronomy is derived from Greek word agros, means field, and nomos, mean to manage. So field management is basically what agronomy is. So what agronomists they do actually, they manage the field and the crop in such a way so that they channelize maximum solar radiation to crop and to get more produce from unit input, right? Then cereals, there are different kinds of crops we grow. So cereals generally, that means ceres means goddess of grain. There are small grain cereals and coarse grain cereal. So what are the small grain cereals? Those are rice, wheat, barley, rye, oat, and coarse grain cereal, maize, sorghum, and millets. Then cereals are generally deficient in lysine and tryptophan amino acid. There are different kinds of amino acids. So in cereal, the amino acid lysines and tryptophans are generally deficient. Legumes, these are rich in lysine but deficient in sulfur containing amino acid. What are the sulfur containing amino acids? There are cysteine, and methionine. So root and tuber crops, if temperate tuber crops, generally potato is a temperate tuber crop, and sweet potato and cassava, these are tropical tuber crops. What is cultivation? Cultivation is the management of crops and environment. Basically selection, first step is selection, then propagation, then protection, right? Propinquity theory or theory of domestication by crowding was proposed by Gordon Childe. Earliest agriculture site, which is the earliest agriculture site? That is Tigris and Euphrates basin. Then origin of city, first started in Mesopotamia and Egyptian civilization. Center of agricultural community, that was Harappa civilization. Who is the father of agronomy? Peter Descrescenzi, who wrote a book that is called Opus Ruralium Camodarum. Domestication of sheep started in 8700 BC before Christ. Cultivation of wheat and barley, that is started in 7500 BC. Invention of plow, that was done in 2900 BC. Then maize cultivation started in 4400 BC. Potato cultivation started in 3500 BC. Rice cultivation started in 2000 BC. Finger millet cultivation started in 1800 BC. Sorghum cultivation started in 1725 BC. Sugarcane cultivation started in 1500 BC. Introduction of several crops to India by Portuguese, it was done in 1600 AD. So then period of Satavahan, that is also known as slash and burn cultivation, actually dominated at that time. Then golden age for Indian agriculture was age of Gupta. Then Nalanda became an international center for Buddhism during empire of Harshvardhan. Muslim rule, Firoz Shah Tughlaq, Akbar. Western Yamuna Canal was developed in Firoz Shah Tughlaq time, and that was built in 1355 AD. Then improved land revenue system was done by Akbar. Takeaway loan was given by Akbar, introduced by Akbar. Then in British rule, Dr. William Carey founded Royal Agri-Horticulture Society in 1920 at Kolkata. What was the bane of Indian agriculture? Insecurity of tenure. It was the bane of Indian agriculture. Separate department of agriculture in India was started in 1871. Then great famine was seen at that time, 1876 to 1877. 1876 to 77. Then famine commission was appointed at that time for to address this. In 1880, first irrigation commission was established in 1901. Second irrigation commission at 1969. Indian Central Cotton Committee was launched in 1921. Indian Central Jute Committee was launched in 1936. Indian Sugarcane Committee in 1944. Indian Central Tobacco Committee was launched in 1945. Food Policy Committee in 1947. PIRCOM in 1956. AICRP maize first AICRP that was introduced in 1957. HOIVP 1966. Bengal famine 1943. Grow More Food Campaign was launched in 1943. Community Development Program was launched in 1952. National Extension Service was launched in 1953. So Land Grant University pattern, that was the university pattern which is followed to develop certain universities post independence era. That actually the aim is upper level education in agriculture and mechanical art. So the aim was towards problem solving of society and the teaching, research and extension in coordinated manner. India has largest semi-arid tropic area, that is around 10% among the developing nations. So per person, the availability of land in India is 0.13 hectare land per person. Okay, total volume of water over the earth, that is 1400 million cubic kilometer. National Commission on Agriculture was launched in 1976. Weed management is both prevention and control. Weed management means both prevention and control. So there are certain CGIAR consultative group of international agriculture research institutions where it is situated, where these all are situated. CET, that is based on tuber crop, research on tuber crop done at CET, that is the headquarter is in Colombia. CIP, Potato Research Center, for International Center for Potato Research, that is situated at Peru. C for forestry research, that is in Indonesia. CIMIT, maize and wheat research, Mexico. Food and Agricultural Organization, that is the headquarter is in Rome. ICAR in Syria, that was established in Syria, but now it is presently in Lebanon. IFDC, Alabama, USA. INSAR, these are actually obsoleted. It was present in Netherlands. Then ITA, Nigeria. IIMI, International Water Management, Irrigation Management, that was established in Sri Lanka. IRI, the headquarter is in Philippines. WADA at Ivory Coast. So let's see some important MCQs also from introduction. PPV and FRA Act was passed in 30th October 2001. According to Seed Act Section 5, period of protection of variety for field crops it is 15 years, for trees and vines it is 18 years, and for notified variety it is 15 years. Blue Revolution, it was done during 7th 5-year plan, that is for fish, increase in fish productivity. Shrimp capital of India, Nellore, which is situated at Andhra Pradesh, that is known as shrimp capital of India. Plant growth is irreversible quantitative change. Generally two types of growth, primary growth and secondary growth observed. Primary growth generally confined to meristematic region, and secondary growth in Cambial region. Okay, so the universities and their establishment: GB PUAT, Pantnagar, 1960, OUAT 1962, Punjab Agricultural University 1962, Tamil Nadu Agricultural University in 1971. Different responses to of plants, like phototropism. What is phototropism? It is the response of plants towards light geotropism towards gravity, hydrotropism towards water, thigmotropism response towards touch or stimulus, right? Then different ratio in farming system or cropping system, like competition ratio, it was given by Wiley and Rao in 1980. CGR, crop growth rate, that is that was given by Watson in 1952. What is CGR? It is a change in growth rate, like change in dry matter, rate of change in dry matter. That is the formula. The CGR is equal to W2 minus W1 by T2 minus T1 into 1 by area, right? What is absolute growth rate? That is the absolute term, W2 minus W1 by T2 minus T1. Then RGR, it was defined by Blackman in 1919. It was introduced. RGR is equal to ln W2 minus ln W1 divided by T2 minus T1. Then NAR, it was defined by Gregory in 1918. NAR is equal to W2 minus W1 into ln L2 minus ln L1 divided by T2 minus T1 into L2 minus L1. Then LAI, it was defined by Watson in 1947. LAI is equal to leaf area by ground area. Then LER, land equivalent ratio, to get an idea about if intercropping is beneficial or not, we have to calculate land equivalent ratio. So land equivalent ratio, the formula is YAB, yield of intercropped A intercropping in intercropping of AB divided by yield of sole crop A plus yield of B in intercropping AB divided by sole yield of B. Okay, sole crop B. Okay, so this is land equivalent ratio. If land equivalent ratio is greater than 1, then the intercropping is beneficial. Then aggressivity, it was defined by Mcqs in 1965. RCC, relative crowding coefficient, it was defined by DeWitt in 1960. So area time equivalent ratio, the formula you can see. So aggressivity, it was YAB divided by YAA into ZA minus YBA divided by YBB into ZB. If it is positive, if aggressivity is positive, then the cropping system is, the crop is dominant over another. If it is negative, that is recessive. If it is 0, the crops are equally competitive. Then RCC, relative crowding coefficient, YAB into AB divided by YAA minus YAB into AA. So if RCC is greater than 1, then yield advantages is there. If RCC is less than 1, then there is a reduction of yield. Then competition ratio is equal to LER A divided by LER B into AB, area of B divided by area proportion of A. If it is greater than 1, then A is more competitive. That is competition ratio. Then RYT, relative yield total, DM YAB divided by DM YAA into DM YBB plus DM YBB divided by DM YBB. Okay. Then a crop equivalent yield, how we can calculate crop equivalent yield? Yield of crop B into price of crop B divided by price of crop A into a plus yield of crop A. So that is crop equivalent yield. Suppose you have to calculate the crop equivalent yield of maize in rice maize cropping system, then what you have to do to get the rice equivalent yield of maize, then you have to multiply the maize yield with maize MSP divided by the rice MSP, right, or unit cost of rice. Then sustainable yield index, it is Y minus mean divided by Y max. The value ranges from 0 to 1. Energy efficiency, it is the formula is energy output divided by energy input. The specific energy, that is energy input minus divided by grain yield. Energy productivity is equal to output of biomass in kg per hectare divided by energy input in kg per hectare, or megajoule. Principles of organic farming. What is the principles of organic farming? There are 3 principles. First one is health, then ecology, fairness. 4 principles actually. Health, ecology, fairness and care. Okay, this might have asked in different entrance examination. Principles of organic farming: health, ecology, fairness, and care. Principle of conservation agriculture, in other hand, there are three principles: minimum soil disturbance, permanent soil cover, and diversified crop rotation. What is Tonga cultivation? Tonga is a Burmese word introduced in 1850 by Brandis. Okay, it is introduced in India by Brandis in 1890. Tong means hill. It is a Burmese word. Tong means hill, and Ya means cultivation. First plantation, Tonga plantation, was done in North Bengal in 1896 by Brandis. Then types of Tonga: departmental Tonga, which is managed by Forest Department. Then leased Tonga. Then village Tonga. Most successful is village Tonga, right? Then what are the types of plants based on salinity adaptation? There are halophytes and glycophytes are there. So halophytes are generally low in number. Then glyphosate is generally more than 98% plant are glyphosate. Halophytes again divided into by different scientists, like Stoker in 1933 divided halophytes into three kinds: aquahaline, terrestrihaline, and acrohaline. Everson, in other hand, divided again into three kinds in 1936: oligohalophytes, then mesohalophytes, and euhalophytes. Right? What is ROS? ROS are reactive oxygen species. They actually react with biomolecules and they degrade the lipid layer of biomolecules and desiccate the plants. So reactive oxygen species actually generated when the plant suffers in any stress condition. So what are the reactive oxygen species? They are peroxide, superoxide, hydroxyl, then singlet oxygens. These are the ROS, reactive oxygen species. Okay. So what is resurrection plant? That is poikilohydric plant that can survive extreme dehydration even over months or years. That is known as resurrection plant. What is zero coal? Zero coals are desert animals. What is xeriscaping? Xeriscaping is a landscaping eliminate supplemental irrigation. Then GMCs, genetically modified crops. According to 2014, soybean has the largest GMC area, that is 50%, followed by maize 30%, and cotton 14%, again followed by canola 5%. Okay, so total GMC area in 2014 was 181.5 million hectare, among which herbicide tolerant GMCs are maximum 154 million hectare and insect resistance GMCs 78.8 million hectare. Actually, some GMCs they do have multiple characters like herbicide tolerant as well as insect resistance. So you can assume what is the area. Then GM crop, genetically modified cotton approved in India for cultivation in 2002. Largest producer of BT cotton is India. BT cotton generally, BT, what is BT? That is Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria that actually produce delta endotoxin or cryprotein, which has certain detrimental effect on lepidopteran insects mainly. Genetically modified crops that is no longer cultivated right now, and those are potato, rice, tobacco, and tomato. Phytohormones are coined. The word phytohormones coined by Went and Thiemann. There is certain ratio on which there are certain effect on plant. Okay, so if increase in ABA to abscisic acid to gibberellic acid, then embryo dormancy occur. If increase in auxin is to cytokinin ratio, then rooting in callus occurs. Then cytokinin, it counter the apical dominance of auxin. Auxin is responsible for apical dominance, so cytokinin actually counter the apical dominance of auxin. And involved in nutrient mobilization. Cytokinin involved in nutrient mobilization. What is ABA? ABA is also known as anti-gibberellin. It is also known as stress hormone, ABA. Then the seed development strategy, the seed development steps. First one is nucleus seed, then the progeny is breeder seed, then foundation seed, then certified seed. Then on the other two types of seeds are truthful level seed and registered seed. Breeder seed, the level color is golden yellow and tag size is 12 cm into 6 cm. Foundation seed, the label color is white and the tag size is 15 centimeter into 7.5 centimeter. Certified seed, the label color is azure blue and the size of tag is 15 into 7.5 centimeter. Truthful label seed, the label color is opal green and the size of tag is 15 into 10 centimeter. Registered or registered seed, the no color of the label is purple and the size of tag is 15 into 7.5 centimeter. So pH of acid rain generally due to the atmospheric sulfur dioxide and nitrous oxide, water react with sulfur dioxide and nitrous oxide and it forms acid rain. The pH varies from 5 to 7. Sorry. Plant can grow in both land and water, those are known as amphiphytes. Then anti-nutritional quality in lentil, that is raffinose. Anti-nutritional quality in subabole is known as mimosine. Plant grow under low calcium soil is also known as calcifuse. Donald, he coined the term idiotype. Donald and Hamblin, they actually proposed two types of idiotype. One is isolation idiotype and competition idiotype. Okay. So ozone layer depletion, ozone layer is there which protect us from UV, the lethal UV rays. Okay, ozone layer is mainly situated in stratospheric layer. So what deplete the ozone layer is halogen molecule like chlorine, bromine, etc. Then who first identified ozone layer, discovered ozone layer? Crotgen and Molina and Rowland. They got Nobel Prize for that in 1995. To protect ozone layer for depletion, there is a protocol, that is Montreal Protocol is there. So inability of viable seed to germinate under unfavorable condition for germination, that is known as quiescence. If the case is favorable and still the seed is not viable, then that is known as dormancy. So this is the difference between dormancy and quiescence. Then process of separation of root from soil, that is known as eutreation. Starch form takes place in leucoplast. Okay, starch formation takes place in leucoplast. So this is all about introduction to agronomy, and we have discussed several important MCQs also over there, so you can note them down and revise yourself to get acquainted. Okay, thank you guys.